Hi everybody, it's Anthony, and I wanted to show you how to access and edit your Excel files for the end of unit tests, where you can analyze student results, group them according to the standard they need most, and most importantly, find the resources for those standards. So to access the page, you can go to Google Classroom and go to Gilmore CSI Classroom and go to Classwork. Go down to data collection, and it's this page, math unit assessment and resources. Click there, it goes to a page of our nest, our Netzeberg nest. It goes to this page, and this video will be posted right here. Another way to get there, if you're not sure how to get there, is on our nest. If you click on this skip down to quick links, that just scrolls down lower on the page, and you will click on the math assessments and resources page. That's another way to get to this page. So two ways to get to this page: on the nest or through the CSI Classroom. And when you scroll down, you'll notice I've made copies of the spreadsheet for every teacher, and you can just click on your name and start putting in your students' results on these unit tests. And so let's do a fourth grader. So there's Miss James's group. I've added the roster as of now. And if there are any additional students that get added to the roster, add them here on this master roster tab. Always add students below. You want to be sure to put in their start date. And if any of these students ever leave, you want to put in a withdrawal date, the PCS date. And that's important. The start date and the PCS date are very important because that will dictate how the student scores get calculated. So for a unit test, for example, let's say a unit 1 test, if I've got a test that I gave on October 1st, 2021, and I have a student who left, let's say this student left on September 15th, nothing is going to be calculated for this student because the date of that test is after this student already left. So even if I put in some incorrect answers because he missed some things, it won't calculate anything. That student should have left and shouldn't have been able to take the test. Students that were here and they took the test, you'll just put an X for any questions they got wrong or partially wrong. And you've noticed these graphs are starting to change. And that's it. You're putting in an X for questions that students get wrong. And then, let's say you've done this for Unit 1. When you come over to the Unit 1 small group, you'll start to see student names populated on these lists for different standards. If I scroll down, there are links that go right to resources to help reteach that standard. There are teacher resources here to help you plan, ideas for centers. The ISS folks up at the district have done this for every unit in math, every grade level, and it's a very fantastic resource. If you put in what your students are missing on the tests, you're going to end up with a great list of small groups and the resources you need to help run those small groups. So definitely update this throughout the year. I'm going to remove the data from Miss James so I don't mess up what she's going to have going later. I want to remind you of a couple important things. One, always add students to the bottom of the list, and always be sure to put in a start date and an end date. If my start date is wrong for any of the students that you have right now, you can edit this. You can change this date. So if you know that this student didn't arrive until November 1st, then you can change that date right here. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope, oh, all right, now I want to show you one teacher who has some data points set in. So Miss Gilmore in 5th grade, let's look at her master roster. So she's got a full list of students here, and her Unit 1 data is in. She marked it, she put in a test date. We see how our students are doing. They're grouped according to their proficiency levels. The constructed responses are called out separately, And now when she clicks on Unit 1 small group, she kind of sees which students need which standard, and she can use this information to make small group determinations. There are links to resources that she can use to help run her small groups. I think there's also Unit 2 data in here. So I think as a team, you're going to decide what unit you're starting on when you're going to start using this. But no matter where you start using it, the end of year data that is going to be calculated, because this is going all year, the end of year data that's going to be calculated will be accurate, because even if you start with Unit 3 and some of this other stuff you don't have scores for, you won't see scores calculated for those later tests because you're putting in the test date when the test was given. And the spreadsheet's comparing that to the start date of the students. So thanks for checking this out, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.